Sorry, but we got kind of cut off on that. So on number 21, an alternate equation for the parabola is y equals 1 over 4px squared. That's only if the origin is the vertex, okay? P is the distance between the vertex and the focus. So plot the vertex, plot the focus. The directrix is the line that goes exactly P behind the vertex. And the locus definition of a parabola is all points equidistant from the focus and the directrix. So you end up with something that looks like this, because this point is equidistant from that. This point should be equidistant from that, so it should look like that. So you can sketch it first, and then just fill this in. Y equals 1 over 4 times P happens to be 7/5 in this case, x squared. So just multiply that out, and that's your equation. Okay, sketch the graph of the function negative log 6x. Well, we know that logs if x is 0, there is no such thing. But if x is 1, then what turns anything into 1? 0. So you know that on any log equation like this, it's going to cross up at 1. And it's never going to be a negative number, because this, if you remember your domains, x can never be negative. So basically you're going to sketch them all just like that whenever you have to sketch. Now, since it's negative, remember that it will flip it over the x-axis. So basically your answer to this problem is going to look like this, okay? Because it is the negative of log 6x. Okay, radius and coordinates of the center of the circle, whose equation? That is all completing the square, because what you're trying to do is put it in this form. X minus h squared, h being the x value of the vertex, plus, or center, I'm sorry, y minus k squared, k being the y value, equals r squared. So you manipulate that equation, completing the square, until you get it looking like that. So the center is your h and k, and your radius is the square root over there of the number that's over there. Okay, write an equation of a sinusoid whose graph is a cosine function shifted 110 degrees to the left, and it has a period of 240, an amplitude of 6, and a center line of y equals -4. Well, if you think of a sinusoid equation, a general sinusoid equation, it's going to be y equals the center line. That's all by itself, because the center line is how it's shifted up or down, plus or minus, depending on if it's going up and it's a sine, or going down, that would be positive, that's negative. If it's peaking at 0, it's positive. If it's going down like that, it's negative. And this is going to be sine or cosine. Oops, I forgot. The amplitude goes in there. That's the distance from the center to the top. Period number. And then you have x minus the phase angle. In other words, what it's been shifted. Sorry, that's fading. So, let's take a look at this. We have a center line.